So Truck Thoughts, we are here. It's your boy, the coach. I'm on the highway right now, and I just want to get some thoughts out, man, especially about where we stand with the 49ers right now, coming out of camp. I think we're into our 14th day at camp. We're in our Las Vegas Raiders week, coming into our second week of preseason, and we finally had a chance to see the guys, right? We finally had a chance to lay our eyes on the boys and actually see not only the rookies and all of the new names and faces that we've been, discussing over the past couple of months, but we got a chance to see what all of the older guys look like, right? Off rip, just for this season, I'm giving the Niners, in my opinion, I'm giving them a clean slate. They deserve as much. There's a lot of turnover with the team. We're not even talking about the rookies notwithstanding, but just all of the guys that have left. Talanoa Hufanga, Travarius Ward, Dre Greenlaw, Deebo Samuel. The list goes on and on. The tackle that we lost, that we traded for from the Eagles. I even forgot that guy's name. Javon Hargrave, right? Moving on from guys. And with that, I understand that it's hard to give the team grace when you understand the context of how we've gotten here as a franchise. But you do have to detach and understand that this season is a clean year. And I got into a discussion with Jesse on Cover 2 yesterday on YouTube, and basically the conversation stemmed around the expectations of the season, juxtaposed to how easy our schedule is this season. And I really think that we gotta give the guys grace. There's tons of turnover, like we've mentioned, with all of the young rookies playing on defense. CJ West, Alfred Collins, we're even mixing in Marquise Siegel. We've got Upton Stout, Nick Martin's going to be a contributor at some level, right? Then we've got some of our younger guys that we're asking to take on bigger roles in Diamador Lenore, D. Winners, calling guys up. And just as far as defense is concerned, and a new defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, I really believe that if these guys put together a solid top 10 defense, I'm going to get to the team, but just rather the defense, I can't be anything but impressed. Now, there's a world where this team is led defensively still with all of the turnover. I don't know what this offense is going to look like with everybody back. George Kittle, CMC, eventually Brandon Ayuk. But for the time being, Ricky Pearsall, we don't know what's going on with Jawan Jennings. He's like fake holding in. I hope he's okay. And then I mentioned already Brandon Ayuk, whenever we get him back. As far as the season is concerned offensively, I really believe that we will be a defensively led team again this year. That's just the way I see it. I think that Robert Saleh has an emotional tone and pulse, not only on the team, but on the defense. And I think that it's going to show through with these guys playing inspired football. A lot's going to have to happen on offense, in my opinion, for us to truly evolve into something. I don't know. We struggle to find an identity often on offense, particularly because of the embarrassment of riches that we've had over the years, where we've been able to just flow the offense through certain players, not necessarily an edict or an ethos or a culture. What I mean by that is basically, we run the ball. We are a running team, but in a lot of different spurts, we don't run the ball when we're supposed to. And that's the mark of an identity, is when you run it when you don't know what else to run. It's like, this is our bread and butter. This shit works. So I don't know exactly what's gonna go down with the offense, man. I just feel like the defense is just shown a little bit more. Now, albeit all of this is early. All of it's early, right? And I get that. But also, I just wanted to just share a little bit of my thoughts about where the team stands right now. I have us going 10-7. I also have us losing the first game of the season to the Seattle Seahawks. And right now it seems like it's unfolding that way. We are decimated with injuries. We're very thin at wide receiver. We're remarkably thin at safety. We just had reports today of Pinnock going down and Jair Brown being called up and absolutely spitting the bit in practice. I'm not here to dump on Jair Brown at all, but he's regressed. He has regressed. So right now, we're thin, we're young. In some cases, we're top heavy. But at the same time, none of those issues that we have are immune to any other team across the NFL. And what I see so many opportunities for us to have a season that we can be proud of if there are all hands on deck, meaning that we use the entire running back room by committee. Like, we're really going to have to find creative ways to get through this season to make it to the playoffs. And I, for one, I see so many, unanswered questions, albeit at this premature stage of the season, but still just some things that you would have liked to see bared out by now, i.e., what exactly is going on with our safeties, finding a third corner, tamping down on our receiving core that we can actually depend on for the first quarter of the season. It seems like there's always an injury coming up. Now, grateful that we're not having anything as big, as a Rashawn Slater situation where, we were losing guys completely for the season, but we're not polished right now. And, the Niners have done a really good job at trying to obfuscate and hide the team because, if we're going glass half full, maybe they want to do that to be able to save some of the younger guys in the building from us being able to talk about what we saw during this time of the season last year. But what's done in the dark gonna come in the light. Flat out. So, I want us to succeed. I think that we're geared up to still go 10-7. I think we're going to go to the playoffs, but it's going to be a dogfight to get there. I really do. And we're going to be led by our defense once again this year. I still got to see it. I got to see if we can run the ball. Also, what do we got? I don't know what we're doing as far as depth is concerned on offensive line. We already saw the swing tackle situation with Spencer Burford. That was sobering. The performance of Spencer Burford at left tackle. I'm going to be fair. Spencer Burford he's played a lot of different positions, but he struggled. Benito out of Denver practically ruined an entire series. Now, is everything on him? No, but it just doesn't look good. He doesn't look confident. And then we're hearing about Ben Barch, who right now can't seem to stay healthy for more than 7 days. So, Connor Colby Colby Connor, the rookie out of Iowa, I believe, he got put into the offensive line at left guard today, and there were reports of him doing fairly good. Thanks, Iggy. I watched Grant's instant reactions, but I just want to get into this season with a sobering approach. You know, let's be pragmatic, let's be balanced, and understand that making the playoffs this year is the goal. All right? We got to see how everything's going to come together, how these guys are going to get healthy in certain thin spots. But right now, if I wanted to take anything away from the first preseason game with laying my eyes on the team, is one, starters didn't play, right? There wasn't a cohesive unit of starters on both sides of the ball. There were starters that played. And two, we used mainly depth, and we lost with depth. We're not a remarkably deep team. I think that even with the 53 that we make this year, and this is a conversation that I had with Tom yesterday, but even with the 53, I still believe that the bottom half, the bottom quarter of the roster, which is like the last 13 guys, are still not starter quality. I mean, it's still not backup quality or depth quality on the team. Like, we're that thin at certain spaces. And one of the reasons why I believe that Kyle and the team rather, is being so cautious with just going to go get a fix-it guy, is I believe that they know that they're going to need that cap space to go get patchwork guys throughout the season. They're going to need more than one or two guys this year to get through the season if they go thin at certain spots. There's just some guys on the team right now that that wouldn't have made our team 2 to 3 years ago. So we're that thin. And I could see why Kyle is being very cautious on exposure of the team, very cautious of competition with the team, especially with their intramural scrimmages or whatever with the teams, the practices. You know, he's cutting it short with Denver with 1 day. I don't think they're going to do 2 days with Las Vegas. And with him, I think he's finally, honestly, I kind of like it. I think he's finally paying attention. Like, I can't just go pedal to the metal and, stop at the gas station every once in a while and just keep on trucking. Like, I got to baby this thing. I got to watch my gas mileage. I can't just floor this thing. And I think Kyle's starting to realize that if I don't start paying attention and being a little bit more meticulous on things that would help these guys move along, I'm going to lose them. I may not have a team by week 12, just off injuries and bodies alone. Right? So, look, we're still a talented team. We still got some of the best stuff in the league as far as just certain players, right? Everybody doesn't have a Fred Warner, a Nick Bosa, a Christian McCaffrey, a George Kittle, right? A Brandon Ayuk in the wing. So there's reinforcements. There's guys here to right the ship 100%. But I am not disillusioned at all into thinking that we are a championship caliber team. That's just the long and short of it. But I really would be impressed if we made the playoffs. If we made the playoffs, that would mean that Kyle would have utilized this team in an intelligent way, and an efficient way. If we go to the playoffs, that means that most of our rookies have survived the season and have made it through their first NFL season, which is a lot to do as a starter, which is a lot to do for a rookie, especially coming out of the defense, coming off of the trenches period. You know, that's a lot of physicality. That's a big jump. If we would have made the playoffs, that means that in some way, form, Trent Williams has made it through the season, right? Because right now I am terrified of our swing tackle situation right now. I hope the kid Dillard or Dylan, whoever's the backup, he's coming in, and you know, it's a huge uptick from what we had at both tackle spots. So right now, just laying my eyes on them for the first time, they got to come in swinging, right? They can't play around. And I see a path for us to be successful this year, but we can't do it with the ego. We can't do it with the ego. So, hey, man, this is just my first time going through, you know, my little car rants and just going through my thoughts. I'm definitely going to touch on more topics. And I just want to be able to just find some avenue to keep content pumping to you guys, because I miss my YouTube family. I miss you guys. I miss my faithful family. I miss all of you guys. But life has been lifing, and I got to keep pushing. So, hey, I holla at you. This is the coach rolling out. Stay low and keep your feet moving. Holla at you. Peace.